Locus here, and here's my review on this awesome figure from Bandai. We do have here the Volume 6 Equip and Prop Kiba and Pendant. A figure that was released way back in 2006, so we have here a more than a decade figure. And yeah, so I have this figure for so long, and this would be the first time that I will be opening up this figure. It has been in packaging for so long. So as you can see with the packaging of the figure, you can see the figure itself, the human form, and the armor piece. Here for the two trays. So the first one we've seen so far, the figure itself, the human form, the armor, and the two weapons it came with, and the pendant. And the second tray, this part here, alright, this serves the alternate hands of Kiba. We do have here the the weapon wielding hands and the open splayed hands, sorry for that, or rage splayed hands. We do have one alternate hand for Barago, and we do have the neck piece here, and the figure has been kept in the box for so long that, as you can see, there's some mold right there. So that's what happens if you keep your figure for so long and your climate in your country kind of sucks. So that happens. And then here's the cape of the figure. It's on a soft plastic, rubbery plastic. It's a translucent one. It has a very nice detail and design, as you can see. It's on a very secured using a wire, which is very annoying, but you know, something from 2006, this is something that you can expect from S.I.C or Equip and Prop figure. The set of hands right here, the weapons, the cape right here, the accessory, and the stuff that we will build later on. So this is the armor piece for the Dark Knight Kiba. So let's start off with this awesome pendant. And I apologize if you can hear the dog barking at the background. Anyway, so here's the pendant. I'm not sure if it's made of silver or die cast, but it really feels solid. You can wear it, I guess, but for me, I'd rather keep it. Very nice. Here's the back. It's very nice. Then right here we do have the head of the figure. I just connected the neck piece right here, but usually it's separated. You have to put everything in. It comes with a manual. It's up to you whether you're gonna check it or not, if you don't know which part goes to where. So here's the headpiece. As you can see, it has a very nice detailing and sculpting. It has a good design, well thought of. The eyes here is made of translucent plastic. It has a very sharp teeth and fangs, and it has a detailing here inside the mouth. So they even put that as a, they put too much effort on this figure. Here's the neck detailing, very nice. It's on a ball joint right here. So here is the armor piece, the upper part. As you can see here, it has a skull detailing here, very nice. It comes from a very soft plastic, but it feels solid, kind of between solid and soft. Then there's a peg hole where we're gonna insert the cape later on. Then the peg here for the body later when we put everything in. For my Makaikado figure, this part here kind of moves, but for this one, it feels sturdy. Feels like everything is in place. And then here's the abdominal piece of the figure. Very dope, very nice. Then here's the lower waist, or should I say waist rather. So you can see it has a very nice detailing still. It has a very sharp bone-like structure right here on the waist, side waist. Then it has a tail-like design here at the back on his butt. Now for the arms. As you can see here, it's on a ball joint connected to a ball joint right here. So we can check it out later if you can really move. If this would give you a good range of motion. But so far I can tell you it has a bicep swivel. It has, the shoulder here moves through a ball joint most likely. A hinge right here and a ball joint right here. So even though it is on a single hinge here, since it has a ball joint connected here, it kind of works in a double range of motion-ish. I think the Makikado also has a single hinge right here. It has the same structure on the arm, but different on the legs. It has a double hinge one. Now, speaking of which, so here's the leg of the figure. As you can see, it has some detailing, awesome one. Technically, it's on a double joint system where it has a hinge right here, but being hindered by the detailing here on the knee. But thanks to the ball joint right here on the lower part of the leg, it kind of tilt a little. It kind of serves as a support when you're trying to pose the figure. It has an average tilting for the cape. Okay, so in case you may wonder, the Makikado also comes with this one, but the difference is, I will show you guys later. Yeah, I think let's do a comparative later. But yeah, here's the cape, rubbery plastic. As you can see, it can fold a little, translucent. It has a good color scheme to it. It has a very good sculpting still. And at the back here, some detailing and some wash. Very nice. Well thought out figure. Then for this one, for the sword, it's not made out of die cast, and this is something that you need to be careful of because it's made of very fragile plastic. So this can really break easily if once bent. I think they should have gone with the die cast, but yeah, I think this is the best that we could get from them. Even the Makikado sword, I think it's made out of plastic, not die cast. Okay. And then here, this part here is the only consistent part that they have also in the Makikado version, which is, it's made out of die cast. Even the Makikado version, it's made out of die cast. It has a very good detailing here, as you can see. Some skull, very sharp. Then it has a chain right here. The handle here is made out of die cast, and that's the only die cast material. It has some nice engraving to it. So effort-wise, I think they put maximum effort. Lastly, the hands of the figure. As you can see here, it comes with a claw-like detailing out on the outer part of the arm. I think it's called a finger guard, whatever. But yeah, it has a very nice detailing. It's very sharp. Here we do have Barago, the human form of Kiba the Dark Knight. So as you can see here, the figure comes with a very nice details and design and sculpting, as you can see. Looking at the arms, even this part here has a very nice detailing. So the character really looks very accurate to the TV series. Okay, then let's go ahead and check out the articulation of the figure. So the arms here can raise as far as that. It doesn't have a bicep swivel, but it can rotate 360 like that on the arms. It only have a single hinge here for the elbow and a ball joint for the wrist. For the leg part here, it's very loose somehow, and the groin joint here is a little bit obvious. The leg can raise as far as that. It has a single hinge for the knee. It doesn't have a thigh swivel. The feet right here doesn't have a toe swivel, but it can move downward a little, upward a little, but it has a good pivot joint right there. We can go ahead and remove the arms just to give you an idea of the joint being used here. So this part here is a ball joint here and a ball joint there. It can tilt a little. It can swivel, as you can see. The head here is on a single ball joint there. So the neck and the head goes together. It has a good range of motion as far as going, tilting, looking downward a little, looking upward. The waist here can swivel. Yeah. It has a good detailing here on the buckles. It has a good design here at the back, which we will be using later on with the armor transformation. So we will just be using the body here and the lower part of the body. We will remove the arms and the legs. So I just took out the head, the arms, and the legs. Let's go ahead and build Kiba. So we do have here the 9-inch scale Kiba the Dark Knight figure. So everything was put together based on the parts that you've seen earlier. I already add in the weapons. One thing that you need to note is that you need to be careful when you're placing the weapon on the figure's hands. You might break the thumb of the figure, which happened to mine. So luckily I have some extra pieces here at home. So to compare the size, so we do have here the Barago figure. So this one is within the 7-inch scale, and then this one is already on the 9-inch scale. So you can see here, he's very tall, he's very huge. Let's do another comparison. So we do have here is the Makai Kado Lord. So he's the tallest next to this figure. As you can see, there's a size gap still here considering the horns right there. He's far more taller and a bit huge. And what I like about these two is that there are some mild similarities with their armor, as far as like it has a face design right there. They have the same skull horn-like details here on the sides, and then their knees, they're not really the same, but they kinda look alike. Not exactly, but I really like the design that they put together with this toy line actually. Now let's remove Lord here, and let's put in Zero. So here's Zero, just to give you an idea how tall the figure is. And then we do have here the volume 7, if I'm not mistaken, the wing Garo version. Actually I have some other Garos right here, but they're already on display and I don't want to destroy their current pose on my shelf. So yeah, so this is the wing Garo. I took out the wings. This is by far my most favorite Garo figure, accuracy wise. But anyway, as you can see here, at least that gives you an idea on how tall the figure is. So for the articulation of this figure, starting off with the head, it can tilt. As you can see, the head can move upward and downward. It has a translucent plastic here on the eye. It's not painted, very nice. As you can see, the mouth can open. This is how far this mouth can open when you place everything in. It's hard to reach the neck of the figure because of the detailing here on the armor. For the arms, this is the armor guard here, the shoulder guards. It moves independently because of the ball joint connected through the shoulders. Then it has a bicep swivel right here. As you can see, it turns. It has a bicep swivel, and then it's connected through a ball joint right there. As you've seen when we place everything in. Here it's on a single hinge. The elbow is on a single hinge, but it's a hinge here connected through a ball joint on the forearms, so it feels like there is a double joint system going on here. Then the wrists are on a ball joint. So you can see the arms can raise like that. Alright. Then the body here is on a ball joint also. So you can see it can move. The waist is also on a ball joint, so it can move independently. You can't really raise the leg that far, so you have to use the bicep swivel right there to raise it further. And then here it's on a single hinge right here. Then there's a ball joint right there, so it acts like a double joint system also. It just so happens that there's a detailing here on the knee that kind of hinders it from moving further. Then the feet, it doesn't tilt that much. It doesn't move upward or downward, so it's a little bit bummer, especially when you're trying to pose a figure. So here we do have a quick comparison between this Makikado on the left and the equipment prop on the right. They have pretty much the same details, design, aesthetics. What makes them different is number one, the armor piece right here. Since we have a built-in concept here, the armor is a little bit loose and it really feels it's on a rubbery material. You know, it's very flexible, as you can see here. And then the abs here kind of wiggles. Compared to this one, it was built very solidly. That the armor piece feels really, you know, intact. It doesn't move. And the abdominal here, it doesn't move. So everything is glued together, well built. Again, let me show you guys. Okay, so let me just lay this down. So the next comparison is the articulation of the figure. They share the same joint system here on this part here, from the head to the part here on the groin, on the hinge, on the elbows here. They have pretty much the same. What makes them different is the knee joint. As you can see, this figure is using a single hinge on a ball joint piece here. So the figure still can pose, it can still give you a good range of motion, but compared to the Makai-Kado right here, as you can see, it has a double hinge knee joint that gives you way more better articulation. Actually, like I kind of wrong on that one. In some aspects of it, I think the ball joint is far more better instead of using a double hinge. Here, this is how far the knee can go when you try to bend it. Because of the armor piece right here, it's really hard to, you know, pose the figure. It's being hindered very bad. While for this one, it has an additional range here thanks to the ball joint that it's been using. So pretty much the ball joint worked on its advantage, because for my Makai-Kado, it doesn't feel like it has a ball joint. So it has a double hinge right here. And that's pretty much it for the figure itself. I can't find any other fault here that we can say that there's a big comparison between the old release and the new one. Another comparison here is that on their accessories, this both figure came with the same sword and the same sword and the same staff. And on how it's built, it's pretty much the same. But what makes them different is that the Makai-Kado comes with this flaming sword. It comes with a translucent plastic, and this part here is not made out of die cast. It's made out of plastic. So you really need to be careful that you might break this off. Because back then, they haven't really invented yet wherein the, if you don't know the Makai-Kado nowadays, the most recent one that they released is that you can detach this handle of the sword. You can insert it on the hand, and then you can insert it right away. So it's easier to place in the weapons of the figure. Another comparison are these capes from Makai-Kado and Equip and Prop. So as you can see here, we can check it out on the light here. The Equip and Prop is fully translucent to light. As you can see here, there's not much of any darker spots compared to Makai-Kado here. It has some dark spots here at the center of it. And to prove my point, here is my spare Kiba. It's still on the... as you can see, it's still on the packaging, on the tray. So you can see it's still translucent to the light. I'm not 100% sure on these findings actually. Maybe it varies really on the release of the figure. Maybe they release some Makai-Kado Kiba that's a little bit, you know, lighter, or you know, you don't have any dark spots here on the center. But who knows? But so far, that's what I could find out about these two figures. So here's the figure trial version, if it can fit Raigo, which technically it can, because these magnificent beasts, the Madu horses, or I'm not sure if this is considered as a Madu horse, but anyway, all these awesome creatures that they release under the Makai-Kado label, they can really fit in with their Equip and Prop, since there's a label there, Equip and Prop, under the label Makai-Kado on the packaging of these figures. So pretty much these figure were designed to fit in both lines, and yeah. So as you can see here, the figure doesn't really technically can sit 100% perfectly on this figure. I can still see a gap here, but I don't want to force it. I don't want to, you know, ending up having a break joint or whatever. This figure may give me if I put too much pressure on it. Though I haven't seen any cracks lately, but I don't want to take my chances. So yeah, but you know, it looks decent. It looks okay. So overall, this figure is still a sure get despite some limitation in articulation for this big guy right here. He is still a good addition to your collection if you are a fan of Keita Amemiya's work. If you are a fan of the S.I.C line, or if you are a fan of the Garo franchise, then you know this is still a good addition to your figure, or you might get the Makikado version instead. It's all up to you guys. So yeah, if you have questions, or you know, if you have any request, feel free to comment down below. You can check me out on Instagram as well. The link is on the description below. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for checking out my review. Later.